The key thing is we don't tolerate the trafficking of women or, frankly, the abuse of women. We do not tolerate that.
Soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women around the world.
I'm a Navy SEAL in this come get me, raid my house, take my stuff. You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me. I'm staying right here.
Hey, take.
Andrew Tate is sitting in federal custody again, and the trail leading here is longer than most people realize. CoffeeZilla digging into the crypto operation, a platform breach, a tax seizure, an investigation nobody could shake off, and now dozens of fresh charges out of Britain with an extradition fight attached. What's remarkable is that CoffeeZilla flagged this direction years before the mainstream caught up. So let's walk back to where it began, because everything that followed has only confirmed he was reading it correctly. The arrest itself happened in Miami on July 18th, executed on a sealed federal warrant, while British prosecutors filed 38 new charges against Andrew and his brother Tristan.
Hey, would you mind signing? Hey, take.
Come over here by me. Let's go. Come over here by me.
Back up. Back up. Back up.
Tristan, anything to say?
He denies every allegation, and his legal team is contesting the extradition by arguing the arrest was politically driven. Whether that holds any weight is something only time settles. But it's worth remembering this saga didn't begin with handcuffs. It began with a lie about crypto, which turned out to be the smallest of his problems. Tate spent years publicly mocking crypto Twitter, describing it as full of losers making money while contributing nothing to society. He stated outright that he'd never launch a coin himself. That commitment held for roughly 12 months.
Said he was going to launch a crypto coin. So I immediately pointed out that over a year ago, Tate said that he didn't need to rob his fans. He wasn't going to launch a coin. Tate replied, "Imagine being such a great detective you can't detect a joke." Now, I'll admit that one stung a little bit. And when I did some research, I realized I had been tricked.
Are you going to launch your own crypto?
No, I'm never gonna launch a crypto. I just like to with crypto Twitter. Because crypto Twitter are full of the biggest degenerate losers on the planet. They're losers. Crypto is the only scenario I can think of where you can make a whole bunch of money while benefiting society zero.
Well, there you have it. I mean, I can apologize. I can admit when I'm wrong. Clearly, it was a joke. Tate would never actually scam people with a coin. Oh, turns out he did.
Getting caught contradicting yourself on something this specific, with the footage sitting right there, isn't just embarrassing. It's a pattern. Because Tate didn't stop at one token. He kept rolling out new ones on a cycle that never changed shape. Hype, then collapse. And the real project extended well beyond a coin. It was packaged as a members-only school called The Real World, sold as the genuine escape route from what he calls the Matrix.
Tate's new plan is that you buy a get-rich-quick course, gain power points, you have to stay subscribed to keep your power points, and then they say they will pay you a percentage that their school makes.
The goal is that you can buy the token and own a percentage of the school. So imagine you sign up for the real world, you start to make money, you focus on your tasks, then you can invest that money in the real world token and get paid every single month a monthly dividend from the profits of the school.
All right, I think I get it. So you got the people at the bottom, they're paying up into the course, into the school. Then you got the people higher with higher power levels. They're making money from people at the bottom with the coin. And then all that money flows up. It's just kind of this nice little pyramid.
Paying members recruit further paying members, and the money climbs toward whoever's already sitting at the top. That isn't education, guys. That's a pyramid with a login screen. On November 25th, 2024, the real world was hacked. Chat logs belonging to more than 800,000 users leaked, alongside roughly 325,000 email addresses, and the people behind it needed nothing sophisticated to get in. They openly described the platform's security as laughably weak. Tate's response wasn't addressing the breach at all. He went on Twitter and did the arithmetic out loud. 800,000 members multiplied by $49 a month, essentially bragging about revenue while private servers, direct messages, and financial details were sitting exposed to actual scammers. Which raises an obvious problem. If a platform genuinely generates tens of millions monthly from loyal subscribers, why does it need another coin launched every few weeks? One reply beneath his own post captured it perfectly. Making $40 million a month yet still needing to rug 5 new coins a week stops resembling hustle and starts resembling desperation. Then December 18th arrived, and a London court ordered £2 million seized from Tate over unpaid taxes. That one couldn't be memed away because it hit the bank account directly, so he reached for the only explanation he ever uses: the Matrix, persecution, a coordinated operation against anyone willing to challenge the system. His followers read that as a man under siege. Practically everybody else reads it as deflection. Then something finally went his way for the first time in nearly 2 years. On January 14th, 2025, a Romanian court lifted the house arrest on both brothers. Leaving the country was still prohibited, but after months trapped inside their own property, that counted as progress. It didn't hold. On February 10th, a fresh lawsuit surfaced, with an American woman alleging the brothers lured her to Romania on false promises tied to adult work. With a trafficking investigation already hanging over both of them, that should have tightened everything again. Instead, on February 27th, Romanian authorities granted them permission to travel internationally for the first time in years. They didn't hang around to see whether that decision might get reversed. They flew directly to America. The timing alone drew attention because nothing had been dropped. The investigation remained active, which made approving international travel genuinely strange, and it all coincided with Trump's inauguration during a run of controversial executive orders. Rumors began circulating that the Trump administration had pressured Romanian officials into easing off the Tates.
Donald Trump helped get the travel ban lifted?
Officially, nobody confirmed anything, but that theory didn't materialize from thin air. Both brothers had been publicly aligned with Trump for a while, echoing his talking points and attacking his online critics. So, when a reporter put the question to Trump directly, asking whether his administration had leaned on Romania, people genuinely paid attention to the response.
President Trump, Andrew and Tristy Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them, and if so,
I know nothing about that. I don't know.
Trump denied any knowledge of it. Whatever the full story is, Andrew wasted no time announcing his plans to remain in America long term.
Yeah, I'm being patient with it because I intend on being in America for a very long time now.
What he hadn't accounted for was that certain American officials were equally interested in him staying, for entirely different reasons. The brothers landed in Florida, a state they presumably expected to welcome them. It didn't.
Is he welcome here? What to say? Send back to Romania or whatever?
Well, we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media, but the reality is, no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air.
Even accounting for a portion of that being political theater, the message left no room for interpretation. Not welcome. Florida's Attorney General James Othmeyer launched an investigation into their conduct, and he was completely direct about the reasoning.
They've gone public, joking around saying, oh, what is the age of consent in America? 15, 16, 17? Oh, we can't remember. That's absurd. That is horrific. And anybody that's going to defend, that practice is on the wrong side of me. That's for sure.
That isn't an edgy joke being taken out of context. That's a sitting state attorney general going on record describing it as horrific.
Yeah, look, these guys have themselves publicly admitted to participating in what very much appears to be soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women around the world. Many of these victims coming forward, some of them minors, people can spin or defend however they want. But in Florida, this type of behavior is viewed as atrocious. We're not going to accept it. They chose to come here and set their feet down in this state, and we're going to pursue every tool we have within our legal authority to hold them accountable.
Suddenly, the safe haven Andrew believed he'd secured started resembling a second legal front. He attempted a political spin anyway, claiming DeSantis was targeting him for having backed a rival politician rather than DeSantis' wife, and that the administration found his influence too threatening to ignore. There was one problem with that story. The politician he claimed to have supported publicly disagreed with him.
Do you support the Attorney General's actions here?
I do. I think those allegations have to be fully investigated, and then we go from there. The key thing is we don't tolerate the trafficking of women or, frankly, the abuse of women. We do not tolerate
that. Persecution narrative disintegrated roughly as fast as he assembled it. So Tate reverted to his standard response whenever a story turns against him. Podcast after podcast, interview after interview.
What have I done since I've arrived? I did Patrick Bet David and sat on my laptop. That's all I've done. I've been Patrick Bet-David, I sat on my laptop and I had Taco Bell, and I've got a criminal investigation?
Yeah.
What the f? Doesn't even make any sense.
The logic appeared to be that talking loudly and confidently enough might shift public opinion or unsettle the people investigating him. Every appearance instead contributed something new to the pile. At one point, he drew a comparison between his own situation and Jeffrey Epstein's.
The fact that my brother and I get more hate for human trafficking than Epstein shows how susceptible people are to Matrix programming.
Comparing yourself to Epstein while denying trafficking allegations isn't the reassurance he apparently believes it is. In another interview, he brought up P. Diddy unprompted, framing both situations as the same variety of coordinated takedown.
I sit there and go, wait. I don't know Diddy, never spoken to him. I'm not defending him. What I'm saying is, they've decided to wreck him. I don't know his side of the story. He may be guilty. His side of the story might be, yeah, I did it, but so did this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. I'm only asking, why only him? I said, T, they're about to get Diddy. He said, why? I said, they've released a video that is 10 years old. They've been sitting on this for 10 long years. This was 2016 they got the footage. Why has no one seen it? And Tristan goes, and that's out now? I was like, yep. 2 weeks later, arrested. They set up the public perception before the arrest. And I know how this works, so I saw it and called it. This came out of nowhere. This was stored somewhere in the Matrix archives. When they decided to take him down, first thing you do is slander him, just like they did to me.
And then, arguably the most damaging moment of all, he confidently informed an interviewer that investigators would never assemble a case against him because he wipes his phone every single night.
I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Come get me, raid my house, take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me, let's do this all over again. I've done it for 4 years in Romania. You think I'm scared of your state jail after an Eastern European gulag? I'm staying right here.
Telling the people building a case against you that you're actively destroying evidence isn't the flex he seemed to think it was. Around that same period, Florida's investigation prompted people to dig through his history, and what resurfaced was genuinely disturbing. An old video began circulating showing Tate physically restraining and striking a woman while berating her. Reports alleged she was 15 at the time. Tate was 25. He tried getting ahead of it by releasing a statement from the woman herself, recorded years later, describing it as consensual.
Hi, I'm pretty sure many of you have seen a video of Andrew Tate beating up a woman, and I'm pretty sure not so many of you have seen the same woman coming forward with a statement saying it was nothing but a play. So here I am again for the second time. Yes, the woman he has beaten up, and the same woman who has made a statement is me. So I'm coming forward for the second time to just clarify and let everybody know it was nothing but a play.
That defense collapses for two independent reasons, and either one is sufficient on its own. First, if she was a minor when it happened, consent isn't something she was legally capable of giving. Second, leaked messages allegedly showed Tate's own team coaching her on what to say publicly, which is a peculiar requirement if the statement was simply true. Other old clips resurfaced simultaneously, showing him explaining in his own words how he recruited women into webcam work.
My PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
By that stage, it was clear the story had outgrown his capacity to talk his way clear of it, so he did what he does whenever pressure accumulates: he left. Tate flew back to Romania, presenting it as a return to clear his name.
Romania, like I said I'd be, because innocent men don't run from anything. We're here to clear our names and exonerate ourselves. And after
the simpler reading is that he didn't want to risk detention on American soil. Florida wasn't done with him regardless.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, the Tate brothers are not in Florida right now. The investigation is still ongoing, but at the end of the day, if you're here and you're a criminal, if you're going to engage in activities that go after women, that go after our kids, we're gonna come after you.
With Romania still live, UK warrants still standing, and Florida now added to the pile, Andrew Tate isn't dominating any system. He's managing legal fires across 3 continents simultaneously, and the harder he insists he's a persecuted rebel battling the Matrix, the more it reads like consequences arriving on schedule. His most recent move tells you everything about where he actually stands. While this video was being written, Andrew and Tristan filed a defamation lawsuit against 15 Twitter users who'd criticized them, demanding at least $50,000 from each.
I'll say this right here, right now. I don't need a reason. You're gonna have to defend yourself, regardless. That's the thing about the American legal system. You cannot ignore it. I don't care if it costs me $1 million to take $1,000 out of your bank. You're gonna be in court twice a month for the rest of your human years. I don't care. I will sue you for any and every reason forever. And you're gonna have to hire lawyers and turn up forever. I will do that. I'm that guy. I'm petty. I'm petty and I've got a lot of money and a lot of time.
On paper, that's a legal maneuver to clear his name. Functionally, it operates as intimidation, weaponizing the cost of legal representation against people who can't afford to fight. What it doesn't appear to account for is how defamation actually works. Winning requires Tate proving the statements against him were false, and discovery runs both directions. The people he's suing can now legally demand records and communications to demonstrate what they said was accurate. One of the accounts he sued pointed exactly that out. Now they get to subpoena the receipts. It's a gamble capable of backfiring badly, and even if he eventually drops every case, nothing underneath changes. The UK warrant remains active. The Romanian case remains active. The Florida investigation remains active. There are fewer places left to run, and fewer people willing to vouch for him. Trump denied involvement. Florida's own officials distanced themselves publicly. The politician he claimed as an ally backed the investigation instead. So here's the actual question, guys. Is any of this a strategy? Or is Andrew Tate simply incapable of staying quiet, handing prosecutors fresh material every time he opens his mouth? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you got something out of this, drop a like. It helps this channel more than most people realize. And if you're new around here, this is Creator Pulse. So subscribe and share this with someone following the case. Catch you in the next one.